See a splash as someone jumps in. This has to be the North Korean military, and if they find you or your team, it could spell political disaster. So you open fire, killing all 3 of them in seconds. You then swim to the boat, but to your horror you realise they aren't wearing uniforms and no weapons are on board. They're simply shell fishermen. You drag their bodies into the water, puncture their lungs and watch them sink to the ocean floor. The mission's now aborted and you have to leave. The New York Times unearthed this story, but Trump claims... This the what?
So, yeah. Chat tools.
Have been begging for green wood in Minecraft for years now, and finally, here it is. See, this is the inside of a green log. Let's mine it and see what the new wood is called. And, oh, it's just a cactus. That's right, although you can't normally see the underside of a cactus block, since they can usually only be placed on top of sand. By placing one in mid-air using commands, we can see that its bottom texture has rings, just like logs do. If you place it in an item frame instead, so that it's small and on its side, it also kind of resembles a sliced cucumber as well. Don't try eating it though. Spikes, remember? Isabel's begging for green.
Rich actually is Jandal. Most people would probably say he's a millionaire, seeing as he owns the world's most popular game. However, $1 million doesn't even come close to Jandal's net worth, because according to estimates by top game devs, Grow Garden earns anywhere from $1 to $2 million per day, which sounds absolutely insane, until you realize it's only one of the 20 plus games that Jandal owns. But after deducting his partner's percentages on each game, Jandal is worth a lot less than his game's total.
Great. Michael Jackson? Wait. It's all yours. Wow. Ellie pulled the hole.
Yo, dude, no way. Emerald told you this is actually my lucky day.
What?
What the heck?
You're not in the movie.
That's a lot of chocolate milk. Chocolate milk makes me go.
Oh, does that come from a brown cow? Batteries are expensive these days.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
จอร์จแอลเวอร์สันตีนี่บีไนซ์รู้ไหมว่ามันมีเจ้าของ
This rifle was supposed to take over the world until a terrifying flaw was found. The H&K G11 fired caseless ammunition, no brass, no ejection, just a solid block of propellant around the bullet. That meant lighter ammo, faster reloading, and a 3-round hyper burst at 2,100 rounds per minute, paired with a sliding barrel that reduced recoil. It was revolutionary. The idea was simple. 3 bullets hit before recoil even moved the rifle. It was years ahead of the M16 and the AK-47. So what was the flaw? Without brass to absorb heat, the chamber overheated fast. In combat, that meant rounds could ignite on their own, turning the rifle into a huge hazard. Budgets dried up and NATO stuck with 5.56 while the G11 faded into obscurity. This rifle was supposed to take over.
Reminder that noob is only survival having war in lobby.
Today we're going to be winning as killer as a pacifist. Yep, you heard that right. I'm not allowed to deal any damage to civilians at all. They all somehow have to die on their own. Now the strategy for this is, we're going to be doing this on an evil, scary round, since he can kill civilians for me without me having to do anything. I'm also going to be using Pursuer as my killer, as although I still can't deal damage directly to civilians, I can lead Evil Scary to them and then use Stalk, making it so he'll go for the civilians instead of me. We're going morally gray here. Fortunately, I'm already finding some AFK people for free kills. Pretty lucky start. Okay, this guy has 12 days.
Oh, hello. So, yeah. Who's there? Wait, what? Who's there? Oh, hello. Hello.
Debate evil scary over. You stalk and we win. And on my first try for this challenge as well.
My girlfriend abandoned me and drove away. The butcher could only turn his attention to me. Just when he was about to take action, he was suddenly hit by bullets. It turned out the police had found that place, although the butcher was already gone. My mind was seriously traumatized. Fast forward 10 years. The butcher's shadow still lingered in my mind. To completely defeat the demons in my heart, I didn't choose to face my fears. Instead, I became the butcher, so I found the butcher's mining outfit and pickaxe. Then I began my spree. First, I wanted to punish my ex who abandoned me, and her current husband David, so I orchestrated multiple incidents to make them think the butcher from 10 years ago had returned. That way I could avoid suspicion while executing my plan. Late at night, my ex-wife and her best friend broke into a supermarket. Butcher from 10 years ago was gone. The current butcher might be her husband in disguise. The evidence from 10 years ago was in her mind. Then I tricked my ex-wife into the car and planned to take her into the mine to end her. But after some investigation, her husband immediately called her to tell her I might be the butcher. He also said I had mental issues. But what did it matter if she knew? She was going to perish anyway, with my pickaxe. But just when I was getting excited, she grabbed my steering wheel, causing us to crash. I was knocked unconscious, but she got out of the car and quickly called her husband.
No one watch, so
The cabin in the woods. Walked into the cabin, I dressed as the butcher. She didn't suspect I was the butcher because only
should I
took the butcher for her husband.
I don't know. Should I continue? Should I continue? I don't know.
Butcher could only
I
turn
I
his attention to me.
I
Just when he was about to take action, he was suddenly hit by bullets. It turned out the police had found that place, although the butcher was already gone. My mind was seriously traumatized. Fast forward 10 years. The butcher's shadow still lingered in my mind. To completely defeat the demons in my heart, I didn't choose to face my fears. Instead, I became the butcher, so I found the butcher's mining outfit and pickaxe. Then I began my spree. First, I wanted to punish my ex who abandoned me, and her current husband David, so I orchestrated multiple incidents to make them think the butcher from 10 years ago had returned. That way I could avoid suspicion while executing my plan. Late at night, my ex-wife and her best friend broke into a supermarket. I followed close behind them. To survive, they had to split up and run. Then my ex suddenly tripped. At the critical moment, her friend saved her life. Then the two of them escaped to a warehouse. I blocked the door with cabinets, but breaking through was just a matter of time for me. They tried to escape through the window, but I was already waiting outside. Next, I eliminated my ex's friend. My ex was terrified. She ran toward the door, then bumped into her husband David. Although I didn't harm her this time, I deliberately called her to tell her the butcher from 10 years ago was gone. The current butcher might be her husband in disguise. The evidence from 10 years ago was in her mind. Then I tricked my ex-wife into the car and planned to take her into the mine to end her. But after some investigation, her husband immediately immediately called her to tell her I might be the butcher. He also said I had mental issues, but what did it matter if she knew? She was going to perish anyway.
Old Forsaken glitch spots still work? Let's find out. If you gashing wound in this spot on the Tempest map, the player should get poisoned from it. It is obvious they didn't patch this, but that's fine. Not fixed.
Nope.
Underground War Blue Flag glitch spot was very popularized to the point it was useless. Now it is impossible to get on, but some are very proud with this change.